Today, we are talking about something that has been trending across the country. The headline says it all. Tinubu escapes northern gang-up, while the Igbos and Yorubas declare support against the proposed state of emergency by Dogar. Yes, this is big, and it's real-time news that affects all of us. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this update, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps us bringing you more important news and insights. Let's start with the situation in the north. There have been talks about a northern gang-up, a coalition of certain northern leaders and groups that many believed were planning to oppose President Bola Tinubu's administration. People have been worried, thinking this could destabilize the political balance in Nigeria. But recent developments show that this gang-up is not as solid as some thought. Some key northern leaders have already expressed support for President Tinubu, showing that unity is still possible and that there are voices for peace and stability even in the north. This is very important because it shows that politics in Nigeria is never one-sided. Different groups have different interests, but many are now choosing to back the president, especially when they see moves that could strengthen national cohesion. We're seeing efforts from minority groups and local leaders in the northern region to work alongside the president rather than create friction. Now, let's talk about the Igbos and Yorubas. In a remarkable development, these two major ethnic groups have stepped forward to show their support for President Tinubu's administration.
Despite their past differences and historical political rivalries, they are now united in opposing any attempt to destabilize the government through the proposed state of emergency by Dogar. This is huge news because it signals a shift toward collaboration and a stronger, united front in Nigerian politics. Leaders from both groups have made it clear that the priority is national stability and progress. They are sending a strong message that ethnic and regional differences should not stand in the way of the country's development. This is something every Nigerian should pay attention to because it affects how politics will play out in the coming months and years. And again, if you're following this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We want everyone to stay updated on this ongoing situation. Amid these developments, there has been discussion about a state of emergency in northern Nigeria. The Northern Elders Forum, commonly called NEF, has called on the president to declare a state of emergency due to rising insecurity in the region. They cite the increasing violence, kidnappings, and attacks as reasons why urgent action is necessary. This is a delicate issue. On one hand, a state of emergency could give the government more power to restore order. On the other hand, some people worry it could lead to tensions or be seen as an overreach of power. President Tinubu has not yet taken action on this recommendation, but the debate continues across the country. Citizens, leaders, and political analysts are all weighing in, sharing different views on what the best approach should be. Some say security should come first to protect lives and livelihoods,
while others stress that democratic values must not be compromised. And as we continue talking about this, I want to remind you to like this video and subscribe, because keeping up with these updates is very important. The public reaction has been mixed, but interestingly, there is growing optimism. People are seeing that ethnic groups like the Igbos, Yorubas, and supportive northern communities are stepping up for the sake of unity. Many Nigerians are hopeful that this cooperation can lead to real positive change in governance and national security. At the same time, some citizens are cautious, watching closely to make sure the balance between strong governance and democratic freedoms is maintained. Looking ahead, these developments are setting the stage for the 2027 elections.
The support of major ethnic groups and key northern leaders could greatly influence political outcomes. But even more than elections, this is about setting a precedent for collaboration, dialogue, and working together across ethnic and regional lines. It's a moment for Nigeria to see that unity is possible when common goals like stability, security, and progress are prioritized. This unity is not just political. It has real social and economic implications. Communities are watching how their leaders are acting. Businesses are planning for stability. And everyday Nigerians are gauging whether they can trust in a government that seeks to bring everyone together. When ethnic groups unite for national interest, it sends a message that Nigeria can overcome historical divisions and work toward a shared future. Even beyond politics,
there are lessons here for all of us. Leadership, Dialogue and compromise are key to ensuring that a country as diverse as Nigeria can thrive. People are learning that it's not about which group wins, but about how the country can progress together. That's why this story is so important. And that's why you should hit that like button and subscribe so you're always informed about these crucial updates. The conversation around the state of emergency continues. Some citizens are calling for decisive action to protect lives and property, while others advocate for patience and careful planning to avoid unintended consequences. Analysts are weighing both sides, discussing how to address security issues while preserving the democratic framework that Nigerians value. This ongoing debate shows that democracy is alive, that citizens are engaged,
and that leadership decisions are under constant scrutiny. Now, as we talk about public engagement, it's clear that Nigerians are paying close attention. Social media platforms, town halls, and community meetings have become spaces where opinions are expressed and debated. People are sharing their thoughts on the unity between the Igbos, Yorubas, and northern leaders, and many are optimistic about the potential for lasting peace and collaboration. The next few months will be critical. How the president and political leaders handle these situations can determine public trust and the nation's trajectory. Strong, transparent decision-making is key, and so is continuous dialogue with citizens. Remember, if you're following this story, like this video and subscribe, because staying informed helps you understand how these developments affect you and your community. This is a moment to reflect on what leadership, collaboration, and unity mean for Nigeria. It's a reminder that even in complex political landscapes, it is possible to find common ground and work toward national development. People are watching, communities are listening, and leaders are responding. The decisions made now will have lasting consequences, both politically and socially. As we move deeper into this story, it's important to understand why the northern gang-up was a big concern. Many Nigerians feared that if certain northern groups united strongly against President Tinubu, it could create tension not only politically but socially. This could have affected businesses, communities, and even national security. But what we are seeing now is a more nuanced picture. Some northern leaders have openly supported Tinubu, showing that politics is not black and white and that dialogue and negotiation are always possible. This is a clear example of how leadership and communication matter. By engaging with different groups, President Tinubu has been able to secure support and reduce friction. This doesn't mean all challenges are gone, but it shows that constructive politics can bring people together rather than divide them. And as always, if you're enjoying this discussion, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep bringing you this kind of news and analysis. Now, turning to the Igbos and Yorubas again, this is truly historic. Both groups have set aside old rivalries to focus on national interest. Leaders from these communities are actively voicing their support against the state of emergency suggested by Dogar, signaling that stability, dialogue, and development come first. This is not just politics. This is about protecting livelihoods, communities, and ensuring that the country moves forward together. When different groups unite in this way, it sends a strong message to everyone watching, including political leaders and ordinary citizens. It tells us that cooperation is possible, that unity is powerful, and that collective decisions can overcome historical divides. This is why this story has captured the attention of Nigerians nationwide. And remember, if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe. Sharing this information helps everyone understand the importance of unity and collaboration in our country. The state of emergency debate remains one of the most talked about topics in the news. The Northern Elders Forum is pushing for urgent action to address insecurity, citing increasing violence and kidnappings as reasons to act immediately. Yet there's caution from other quarters, warning that hasty decisions could create more problems than they solve. This is why leadership is critical. The president has to balance security, democratic values, and national unity, and it's a task that requires careful thought and consultation. Public opinion plays a crucial role in this discussion. Citizens across Nigeria are engaging actively, discussing the benefits and risks of the proposed state of emergency. Some feel decisive action is needed, while others are urging patience and dialogue. This debate shows that democracy is working,
that people's voices are heard, and that leadership must consider the perspectives of all citizens. Looking further ahead, these events are shaping the narrative for the 2027 elections. Political analysts are already discussing how this unity among the Igbos, Yorubas, and northern supporters could influence voter behavior and political outcomes. It's clear that when ethnic and regional groups collaborate, it strengthens national stability and can have a positive impact on governance. The lessons from this story go beyond politics. Nigerians everywhere can see how dialogue, negotiation, and compromise lead to results. By choosing collaboration over conflict, these groups are setting an example of responsible leadership and citizenship. Communities are watching, and they are learning the value of engagement, patience, and unity in solving national challenges. At the same time, economic implications are significant. When political stability is evident, businesses can operate more confidently, investors are encouraged, and communities feel safer. This creates a positive environment for development. The unity we are witnessing is not just symbolic, it has real-world benefits for every Nigerian. As we continue following these developments, it's important to stay informed. This story is evolving, and what happens in the coming weeks could shape national politics, security strategies, and social cohesion. And once again, like this video and subscribe if you haven't. Staying informed empowers you to understand these events and their impact on your life and community. Citizens' engagement has been remarkable. Town halls, community meetings, and online discussions are all buzzing with opinions on these developments. People are discussing how leaders from different ethnic groups have come together and how this might influence the country's direction. Social media has become a platform for debate, awareness, and education about national issues. The next few months will be critical for both leadership and citizen engagement. Decisions about security, governance, and national unity will need careful monitoring. How the government communicates with the people and how citizens respond will set the tone for future political and social stability. The unity between the Igbos, Yorubas, and supportive northern leaders also offers hope for other regions. It shows that dialogue and cooperation are possible even when tensions have existed for decades. This can serve as a blueprint for addressing other regional and ethnic issues in Nigeria, reinforcing that the country can achieve more together than divided. We are also seeing the importance of leadership in real time. President Tinubu's ability to navigate these challenges, communicate effectively, and bring groups together is a lesson for all leaders. Strong leadership isn't about confrontation. It's about consultation, understanding, and building bridges. Security, unity, and governance remain intertwined in this story, while some groups call for urgent measures like a state of emergency. Others emphasize careful planning and democratic principles. Balancing these perspectives is key to national progress. And as always, if you're following this discussion, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Your support helps keep important stories like this in the spotlight.